In ancient times, there was an Indian king named Raja Vikram, renowned for his wealth and might. He believed himself to be the smartest and wisest in his kingdom and often boasted about his wisdom to everyone. One day, he decided to challenge his people. He said to them, "If there is anyone who thinks they are wiser than I am, let them come to me and prove it. If they fail, they will be punished." The people feared the king's wrath, and no one dared to accept the challenge. But in a distant village, there was a simple sage named Swami. When he heard about the king's challenge, he said to his disciples, "I shall go and meet the king and teach him a lesson about true wisdom." Swami entered the king's palace, wearing simple clothes and carrying his staff. He said to the king, "Your Majesty, I have heard that you are looking for someone to test your wisdom. I am here to accept the challenge." The king laughed and said, "You a simple man? How can someone like you challenge my intellect? But all right, I will give you a chance." The king asked the wise man, "Tell me, what is the greatest thing in the world?" Swami smiled and replied, "Humility, Your Majesty. It is what makes a person loved and keeps their status intact, no matter how high they rise." The king was not satisfied with the answer, but he could not refute it. So he said to the wise man, "Very well, I shall pose another question." The king asked, "If you are truly wise, tell me, who is the strongest person in this kingdom?" Swami replied calmly, "Not you, Your Majesty. It is the simple farmer who tills the land to feed his family." Swami continued, "His strength lies in his patience and hard work, while your strength relies on the power given to you by the people." The king was angry at the answer, but he recognized its truth. The king said to the wise man, "If you think you are wiser than I am, tell me, what is something that a king cannot buy, no matter how rich he is?" Swami smiled and said, "Wisdom, Your Majesty." Swami explained, "It is acquired through experience and humility and cannot be bought with gold or silver." The king was silent for a moment and realized that despite his power and wealth, he lacked humility. The king said to the wise man, "You have taught me a great lesson today. I was wrong to think I owned everything." He then announced to everyone, "From today, I will learn from the wise men of my people." The king continued, "I will be a fairer and more humble king." The story concludes with the moral that wisdom does not come from power, but from humility and learning. Strength and wealth do not make one wise. Humility and learning are the keys to wisdom. No matter how high one's status, they must be humble to benefit from others' experiences. Wisdom is the most precious treasure. It cannot be bought or possessed by force, but is acquired through life and reflection. The story teaches us that wisdom is not in control or boasting, but in humility and the ability to learn from every person and every situation.